As soon as the class was over, Zhang Linlin hurried to the hotel. Guichen told her half an hour ago that he had opened a good room and was waiting for her in bed with a spray of fragrance, and sent her a selfie. She was so scared that she didn't dare to open it and deleted it immediately. She used the corner of her eyes to look at the students sitting on both sides. Fortunately, they are listening carefully and did not pay attention to the content of her mobile phone. This Guichen, more and more excessive, before said good after 8 o'clock in the evening can contact her, but now he not only does not abide by the rules, even send a disgusting selfie to her. She was a little angry. As soon as she stepped into the room, Guichen hugged her and kissed her frantically. Although she felt uncomfortable, she had to bear it and cooperate with his actions in order not to be rejected by him. Who had told him that he was the patron? After a long time, Guichen finally let go of her. Hurry up and take a bath, I can't wait. She put down her backpack and entered the bathroom. Just as she took off her clothes, Guichen suddenly squeezed in and hugged her from behind. She was startled in the heart, struggling to say, "No, I am now ovulating period, take a set," but before she could finish her speech, he had already made a move. "Baby, I can't wait, you can take your medicine later." Take your medicine, take your medicine. She's taken it twice this month, and it's made her endocrine mess. Guichen, just regardless of her turbulence, is not disorder. He spent money, how comfortable, how to come, as for her body is affected, and what do he do? Zhang Linlin also dare not resist, for fear that he did not pack her in a fit of anger, that she can break the source of income. Afterward, Guichen told her, "Don't forget to take medicine." She dressed, said, "You don't send me a picture, let the students see the bad." Guichen pinched her chin and said with a smile, "Yo, and temper, but you look really good when you're angry." Zhang Linlin glared at him and said, "I'm serious. Don't send me any more, you have to take care of my face. If I lose face in front of the students, is not good for you?" All right, I won't." Guichen pulled her to the side, "Tell you something serious, my brother, how to say, after seeing your photos, like you very much." She stares at him, and he said, "How about you spend 10 days a month with him, too?" Guichen said with a smile, "Then you can double your income. Anyway, you are idle." Zhang Linlin at first listened to very angry, but on second thought, she committed to Guichen, is not to make money, sell to whom is not sell, double income, monthly income 20,000 yuan, cool cricket. When Zhang Linlin first entered college, she was very pure. Zhang Linlin home condition is not very good, father put a fruit stall, mother is not in good health, cannot do heavy work, can only nest at home to do some handmade. She ate enough of poverty since childhood, vowed to study hard, in the future to excel, let her parents live a good life. She was indeed successful. She studied hard for 12 years and finally got into a good university with strong will. However, when she came to the big city and saw her classmates, she realized how primitive she was. She used to wear uniforms to school, she did not feel worse than others, but now, her mentality has changed. What's more, there are so many talented people in college that she can't be the top dog, unable to match others in material conditions and failing to rank among the top in academic performance. She could not help but have an inferiority complex. Learning can be followed slowly, but making money to improve life is imminent. She never dared to ask her parents for more money. They had already given her half of their income. She could not bear to make them suffer anymore. She had to rely on herself. She had several jobs that she found too low and eventually quit. Later, she heard that serving tea and water in a bar was a good pay. Although she knew that the place was full of people, she thought that she was just a handyman and that as long as she kept her bottom line, nothing would happen. However, in a dirty mire, it is not so easy to get out of the mud without becoming contaminated. Zhang Linlin does the hardest work in the bar, getting pushed around by others. Her income is more than that of her part-time job, but less than 1/10 of that of her hostess sisters. It was much easier for them to get paid handsomely for just chatting and drinking with people. She wants to be as good looking as she is, she wants to be in good shape, she doesn't look worse than them, why shouldn't she have a high income? Once again, she convinced herself that she would only drink and talk and do nothing else to hold the line. She was completely unaware that this decision had crossed the line, her soul had been eaten away without her knowing it. In the course of the drinks, the men who came to the bar looking for excitement made dirty remarks, which made her blush at first, but gradually became numb. She even tried to ingratiate herself with the bosses by wheedling, "Oh, my dear brother, you are so bad," when they told such unpleasant jokes. Gui Chen, the owner of an advertising agency Zhang Linlin met while escorting, is more than 10 years her senior. He has a wife and children, but that doesn't stop him from enjoying himself in bars. When he heard that Zhang was still a college student, his eyes immediately lit up and he offered to keep her for 10 nights a month. He would pay her 10,000 yuan. The 10,000 yuan is equivalent to 3 to 4 months' income for Zhang's parents. She only thought about it for one night before agreeing to Gui Chen, but she knew her worth. She hadn't had sex yet, so for the first time, she asked Gui Chen for 30,000 yuan. That night, Gui Chen excitedly hugged her and said bluntly that he had not tasted the taste of female college students, but also a chick. He will be gentle. Although he said so, but the actual operation is not so. After that, Zhang Linlin was crying with the quilt in her arms. She thought she was going to die because of the tearing feeling she had just felt. Gui Chen saw her crying so sad, this just spout a little pity Xiangxiu heart, hug her and said, "I'm sorry, Lin baby, it's my fault, you hurt, but you rest assured, I will compensate you." He immediately transferred 35,000 yuan to Zhang Linlin. She saw the money added to her account and immediately felt less pain. She transferred 5,000 yuan to her father. She wanted to transfer more, but was afraid to do so in case they got suspicious. She told them that she had earned the money from her work as a tutor. In order to make Zhang grow up as soon as possible and satisfy his own desires, Gui Chen would watch action movies with her every time beforehand and ask her to imitate the movements of the heroine to match his own. Zhang Linlin's heart naturally is resistant, but she has tasted the sweetness of money, finally met a willing to give her money, how dare she disobey it? And as the number of times she slept with her husband increased, sometimes she would think that this is a business that is sure to make money. She has gained both money and pleasure. Little did she realize that she had bought it for her fame and her health. As the money on the card continued to pile up, so did a life of designer clothes and gourmet food. She dresses herself to the nines every day, walking around the campus. She is a beautiful sight. So when Gui Chen asked to share her with another man, she agreed without hesitation. More than 10,000 yuan a month means she can make life easier for her parents. Her body, and even her soul, is dirty. Another benefactor is Gui Chen's business partner, Lu Gu. He is a greasy middle-aged man in his 40s. Compared with Gui Chen, he looks rather poor. Zhang Linlin actually some diaphragm, after all, elder brother Lu is old, fat, belly protruding. She felt uncomfortable. But she never expected, brother Lu Kung Fu is better than Gui Chen, and he speaks well, will coax her happy, but also from time to send her some brand name bags, jewelry. In this way, she felt that it was easier to earn money from brother Lu than from Gui Chen. Lu Gu was praised by her, happy from ear to ear. "I earn more than him, of course, than he willing to spend money. What's more, I tell you secretly, he is henpecked." Zhang Linlin doesn't want to find out how much money they have. It doesn't matter how much money they have, as long as they keep their promises and pay her on time. She pays 5,000 yuan to her father every month. The rest, apart from daily expenses, is still quite a bit left, which she saves for the future. She is not without a plan. She knows that youth will last only a few years. Besides, these men may leave her when they get tired of playing, so she has to be prepared. Even if the day came when she lost her income, she would not be in a hurry. However, since having a double income, Zhang has been so busy that she doesn't have much time to study. Sometimes, when she goes back to school after a long night, she just wants to catch up on sleep. What's more, she noticed that her lower body was bleeding intermittently. The amount was small, but it was always dripping dirty. She panicked. She went to gynecology to do an examination. When the doctor learned that she ate 4 or 5 times a month emergency contraceptive, cannot help but frown. You this person, how do not cherish their own body so? Also, you that what kind of boyfriend, do not love you at all. She was said to be ashamed, quickly took the doctor prescribed endocrine regulation medicine, fled to leave the hospital. She wanted to ask for leave. Guo Chen and Lu Gu did not agree. She had to take the medicine while continuing to serve them. Guo Chen said, "It's impossible for me to wear condoms. You're afraid of getting pregnant. Go to Shangwan, you can take birth control pills, whatever you want, but you can figure it out yourself." Knowing that she would have to take the pill for more than 20 days in a row, Zhang flinched, worried that she would miss it and be seen by her classmates. So, she went to a small clinic to get an annulus. The middle-aged female doctor looked at her with a look full of contempt. "Don't think that just because you get the ring, you can't get pregnant." She said nothing, but her heart was sad. She was shining in front of the uninformed students, but in the eyes of those who knew, she was a shameless person who sold her body. Before she left, she heard the female doctor say, "If it were my daughter, I would strangle her." Suddenly she thought of her parents. What would they think if they knew what she was doing? But she had no way out. She just wanted to earn and save as much as possible, at least save enough for the down payment of a house, and then take her parents to her side and find a suitable person to settle down with. Her life would be perfect. That Zhang Linlin on the ring, Guo Chen and Lu brother to play with her more brazen, she took the opportunity to propose that she had made a sacrifice for them and asked for more money. After bargaining, they each gave her 3,000 yuan, although she is not satisfied, but also helpless, can only accept. She was so busy making money that she had no time to study, so she naturally failed the exam.at this time. Hu Can, the handsome boy in the class, offered to give her tutoring. In fact, Hu Can admires Zhang Linlin for a long time, but has not found the opportunity to approach her. This time, he seized the opportunity to give her tutoring at the same time, told her about his deep love for her, hope she can accept him. At that moment, Zhang Linlin thought she was dreaming. In fact, she also had a good opinion of Hu Can, but she did those things, even looked down on herself. How dare she expect to get his favor? She had not expected that love would come so soon, but she could not, and did not dare to accept it. She didn't have much time to fall in love. More importantly, she was afraid that once she started falling in love, her affairs would be revealed. The smell between lovers is sensitive, and Hu Can wouldn't find any clues. Therefore, rejection is the best choice, but also the safest security. However, Hu Can is not a man who gives up easily. Since he has made his intention clear, he should try his best to catch her. What's more, he was keenly aware that she also had a crush on him. It must be she who was testing herself. Therefore, Hu Can showed her kindness by sending her breakfast in the morning, supper in the evening, and a bunch of flowers every 3 days. After his unremitting efforts, she was finally completely moved by him. After all, she was still young and eager for true love. Zhang Linlin has the feeling that she is in trouble. Hu Can always want to be with her in one piece, but she has to accompany the 2 gold owners. Can only constantly find excuses to pervert him. Again, careless boys can also feel wrong. Zhang Linlin all day a class is in a hurry to leave school, said to do a part-time job, but she often stay out all night. This is too abnormal? In the face of Hu Can's question, Zhang Linlin was angry. We are not agreed in advance. Do not interfere with each other's private life. You are now how to return a responsibility? Hu Can felt aggrieved and said, I'm worried about you, aren't I? You are a girl, always in the middle of the night outside. Meet the bad guy how to do. When Zhang Linlin heard him say this, she could not help feeling ashamed and said, okay, I know. I will come back early, right? Hu Kan hugged her and said lovingly, you should focus on your study now and make your grades go up. In the future, after graduation, you will not worry about finding a good job. Zhang Linlin secretly sighed in her heart, thinking that he had a point. If she could not graduate successfully, how should she explain to her parents? And if it went on like this, who could find out about her sooner or later? She didn't want to lose him or lose her reputation. This thought, she sprouted to Gui Chen and Lu Gu to stop the idea. Gui Chen is indifferent, women, like clothes, old changes, but Lu Gu did not agree. He, in the process of trading with Zhang Linlin, unexpectedly had feelings for her. Listened to her said to leave himself, he panicked. Baby, don't be so cruel to leave me. If you think I give too little, I can add more. Zhang Linlin did not agree. She wanted to live a normal university life, want to have sex with Hu Kan. Although he refused to give up, he respected her decision. That's fine, but remember, my arms will always be open for you. Whenever you want to come back, I'm always welcome. Zhang Linlin did have a good time with Hu, but it costs money to fall in love. Hu's family is not so good, so she couldn't bear to ask him to pay the bill all the time. When Hu couldn't let her, she got angry and said, I don't want to owe you anything. Besides, paying for someone you love is a sign of love. Hu Kan of course did not want to owe her, so they agreed to go out in the future to eat, drink and play, the practice of Dutch, so that no one owes anyone. Just when she thought she could leave the past behind and embrace a better future, God played a big joke on her. That night, Zhang Linlin and Hu Kan were reviewing their lessons in the library. Suddenly, a loud loudspeaker sounded from downstairs of the library. Zhang Linlin from the literature department is shameless, she seduces men and sleeps with them 20 times a month. Zhang Linlin from the literature department is shameless. The loudspeaker played these words on a loop, drawing everyone to the window to watch. Zhang Linlin's face suddenly changed, so embarrassed that she could not wait to find a hole to get into. Hu Kan stared at her and asked with difficulty, Is that you? Is what she said true? Zhang Linlin's tears have answered his question. He slammed his fist on the table, gave her a dirty look and turned away. The loudspeaker was playing these words in a loop. Everyone had gathered at the window to watch, but when Hu hit her, everyone turned and stared at Zhang Linlin. It was immediately clear that she was the main character in the matter. Zhang Linlin ran away with her school bag. Although the woman who shouted the horn was chased away by the security guard, she had already achieved her goal. The story of Zhang Linlin selling herself soon spread around the campus. The instructor immediately talked to her and decided to punish her. When she stumbled back to her dorm, she found her belongings packed up by her roommate and dumped by the door. I didn't know you were such a person. What a bitch, we don't want to share the dorm with you. Who knows if you have an infectious disease, they said ruthlessly. Unable to cry, Zhang stayed in her hotel room, wondering what had gone wrong. She had clearly cut off contact with them, so why had she been killed? If she had stopped there and not asked whether Gui Chen or Lu had leaked the secret, things might not have gotten any worse, but she did not. In order to find out who was the culprit, she even called them to ask for evidence. Lu Gu listen is her voice, Busy said, Xiao Linlin ah, Gui that guy is not authentic ah, was his wife a polier, what I'll admit, how are you now, all right, do you want me to come with you? It turns out that this matter is bad in the selfie Gui Chen sent her a long time ago. After he sent it, he forgot to delete it. Originally Mrs. Gu would not look through his phone, but he was drunk a few days ago, shouting the name of other girls. When Mrs. Gu heard the anger, she unlocked his phone while he was drunk and found the photo within a few clicks. When he woke up, she pressed him to find out who he had hooked up with. Mrs. Gu is a major shareholder of the company, and it is thanks to her that Gui Chen is where he is today, so the wisest thing to do is come clean. Mrs. Gu angrily gnashed her teeth, You are disgusting, that female college student's more disgusting, what thing? She was always vengeful, so she went to school. Xiao Lin, you listen to me, Gui Chen his wife is not easy to annoy, this matter so let it go, you don't look for him. Brother Lu kindly told him, if you need me, you can tell me at any time. Zhang Linlin is angry at this time. Gu Chen, this bastard, hurt her reputation, became the laughingstock of the students, also hurt her to be punished, lost who can, this tone she cannot swallow. Must let Gu Chen give her an apology. So, she dialed Gu Chen's phone, he soon picked up, she scolded him, a dog, blood dripping head, such as scold tired, only to ask him how to solve the matter. Gu Chen stammered and asked where she was and that he would personally go over and give her financial compensation. Unguarded, she said the hotel room number. She thought quite simply, the reputation has been stinking, she will have a hard time in school, since Gu Chen is willing to lose money, then she will continue, even if her spiritual compensation, with the money, she could rent a house off campus and avoid her classmates as much as possible. It wasn't long before Zhang Linlin heard a knock on her door. She thought she must ask for as much money as possible to make up for her loss. When she opened the door, what she saw was not Gu Chen, but a woman with a fleshy face and two big men. She shouted in the heart of bad, want to close the door, but it was too late. One of the men put a foot in her body. She threw herself back and fell to the ground, followed by a fist. Hit me hard, the shameless bitch, said the woman savagely, raising her foot and kicking her hard in the little belly. All she felt was a sharp pain in her abdomen, and she wailed twice until her consciousness began to fade. Before she passed out, she heard the man's panicked cry, "Sister, she's bleeding from underneath." Zhang Linlin suffered from a ruptured fallopian tube and was bleeding heavily when she was found 2 hours later. Zhang Linlin never knew she was pregnant, and his ectopic pregnancy, Mrs. Gu, that kick, directly kicked burst fallopian tubes. After she was sent to the hospital, the doctor immediately carried out rescue and informed her relatives. When she woke up, she saw her mother sitting by the bed weeping, knowing it was all over, but her father and mother said nothing. They just told her to take care of her body and make plans for the future. She turned her head away and shed 2 silent tears. After being discharged from hospital, she went straight to the school suspension formalities. Before she left, Hu Kan waited for her on the road. His eyes were red and he said, "It's really wrong of you, anyway. Thank you for giving me warmth. In the future, you must walk well." She could not bear it, and threw herself on him for the last time, hugging him and crying. Hu Kan patted her on the back and let her cry. He had loved her and hated her, of course, for her worldliness and her lack of self-love. Zhang Linlin, with her braids and plaid clothes, no longer exists. When Zhang Linlin took a year off from school and returned to the campus she had left for a long time, she felt as if she had passed away. Her black material, although it has become the past, but occasionally someone will mention, she heard, also laughed it off. Now she is devoted to her study. Only through experience, only through pain, can she understand that some things cannot be touched, once touched, will fall into the abyss. Fortunately, she is strong enough not to fall down. She believes that if she works hard enough, her future will still be bright.